Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back for another episode of Portal 2. We have made our way, I guess, inside one of the spheres. And we are here in Sphere 9. Well, I guess. And let's see, that's 4 through 8. So we're gonna work our way, I suppose, somewhere. Is this the new puzzle screen? It's just gonna say you are here. I don't know. We turned on the gel flow, just for no real reason. Remember, this test is unsolvable without an Aperture Science portable quantum tunneling device. If you have not received one, please find a test associate before participating in any of Shaft 9 enrichment activities. So, even though we are in at the very bottom, assumedly the oldest of the remaining testing facilities, they had some device like our portal gun already. There's some level of technology that they had that's even beyond what the real world has. We have yet a third or fourth design for the fizzlers here. A repulsion gel was Aperture Science's first attempt to create a dietic pudding substitute. It's true the gel is sweeter, slightly less non-toxic form of fiberglass insulation that causes subsequently ingested food items to bounce off the lining of the dieter's distended stomach and out his or her mouth for various reasons. This product was pulled from shelves. So it's just their concept here was to make the food just bounce out of your stomach and make you vomit it back up. What silliness. I think Cave Johnson was a lunatic. Oh. Well, this certainly is new. This blue stuff is bouncy. Let's see if I can just fall on it and bounce up and down. Not really. It's still kind of pointing me. It says hold P the and bouncing. So I can crouch down on it and all that, but now I'm kind of stuck down there. But you can then just jump up and it seems to bounce you as high as it's a lot higher than jumping. Well, it's not a button, but it is a button. It's a square button. And there's the exit. And this technology looks pretty old. But then on top of it being pretty old, it still has the portal technology. It's like they discovered portal technology as their very first thing. Old-fashioned buttons. It's not a storage cube, it's just a box. These are all like predecessors to the puzzles we've done before. So
the lab boys just informed me that I should not have mentioned the control group. They're telling me I ought to stop making these pre-recorded messages. That gave me an idea. Make more pre-recorded messages. I pay the bills here, I can talk about the control group all damn day.
Powers these real old-fashioned kind of elevator-style doors. So we know where GLaDOS got all her ideas. if she built the facility from scratch, all her puzzles, she just took everything that Cave Johnson did and improved upon it. Next test chamber this way. Okay, thank you. That really helps. Our way around here. Well, we found an office. Fluorescent bulbs. Let's see. Now the surface looks like you can put a portal on it. It's not letting me put a portal on it. That's frustrating. This is the main frustration point of once you start getting out of those tiny rooms, is that anything that looks like it is lightly painted seems like it can have a portal on it. But a lot of things don't allow for that. Well, I guess I'm just jumping.
For this next test, we put nanoparticles in the gel. In layman's terms, that's a billion little gizmos that are going to travel into your bloodstream and pump experimental genes and RNA molecules and so forth into your tumors. Now, maybe you don't have any tumors. Well, don't worry. If you sat on a folding chair in the lobby and weren't wearing lead underpants, we took care of that too.
Fortunately, I don't believe I sat on any folding chairs. There's this thing called ethics. I've heard about it. I may not be an expert on it, but from what I hear, you don't inject tumors into human beings. Plays a little sound when you bounce, which is cool in concept, maybe a little annoying in the implementation. Alright. So there's a doorway over there. Oh, now that powered this. Some more height. Definitely different than Portal 1. This whole bouncing around on gel and all this. Part of this, as I was doing just the smallest amount of research, basically I opened the Wikipedia page and looked at some stuff. Looked at the year. It turns out that in the same sense that Portal 1 was made by, was based on an original project from a team at Digipen. It turns out so was Portal 2 in this sense, by a different team that I think they hired out of Digipen, and their game was called something along the lines of Paint Tag or something, and I imagine was the precursor to this gel, and so that's kind of cool. Now, does that mean that Portal 3 they're going to hire another team when they're out of Digipen that has some cool test game for their school projects and use that concept in Portal 3? I wouldn't be totally opposed to that. As long as it stays somewhat in the science thought. Like, Portal starts off in the portal, so you can't really get rid of the portal gun, which is a super overpowered thing. Or you could, and you just start saying, calling it Aperture Science or something, and spin it off to a different name. But it'd be kind of difficult to do that. So you're kind of stuck with the portal gun, but you can get rid of all the other technologies. There have been several things that were not really used or not really used that much or used at all in Portal 2 that were in Portal 1. So they already did it and it was fine. Nobody even really noticed. Bot duct, 78 inches. It says butt, then it says bot.
Oh, in case you got covered in that repulsion gel, here's some advice the lab boys gave me. Do not get covered in the repulsion gel. We haven't entirely nailed down what element it is yet, but I'll tell you this, it's a lively one, and it does not like the human skeleton.
So these are the new elevators. So we're still doing the exact same game. We're still doing a puzzle and then going through an elevator. We're doing the same thing, but they've spiced it up by having us be on our third layout and lookout. We're getting told a totally different story. There's 2, 3, maybe 4 stories going on in Portal 2, whereas Portal 1 was just all about the one thing that was happening right then and there, and didn't reveal a lot of other story. So yeah, I'd love if Portal 3 was just a series where they came out with a new game from Digipen, and it doesn't even have to be Portal. I'd much rather love that Valve always hired a team every couple of years out of Digipen and allowed them to make a great game, because those fresh new ideas got us Portal, and is just a new way of looking at things. Having new people on your team is a great idea, and having new games. So many games come out these days that are just first-person shooters with little to no improvement or intelligence. There have been some first-person shooters lately that recently they're like, we have a dog in our game, and people are like, so what? You have a dog in your game? That's not new and innovative. There was one that said, our fish react when you get in the water. And then somebody puts up a video of Super Mario 64. The fish reacted when you swam in the water back then. That's not new concepts. That's not new improvements. Portal 2, that's new concepts. This is all new physics stuff that isn't really implemented or played with in any other game. And so I'd love to see what Valve could come up with next that would be interesting and new and unique. We always need new lifeblood, new and unique ideas. We don't want to get stagnant. Anyways, let's go down this elevator and wrap up this episode. As always, I ask that you like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of the video. All of that helps me out. If you want to follow me on Steam, Twitter, Google+, or Battle.net, all that information is down in the notes. And we're done here, so have a good evening.